Something's really been concerning me with the AI models lately I've been seeing and the supposed improvements that these big companies have been making. I've noticed that the models have gotten consistently worse. They actually seem to be decaying. And I think the predominant reason for this is that there is very little truly human generated content anymore. Before the AI era, everything was human generated. So the problem is that when you're using AI data to train AI, is that you have kind of a copy problem. Without the originality and ingenuity and logical structure of a human brain, the AI just starts to come unraveled and it starts to hallucinate over time. All of that valuable training data has already been exhausted. And so these companies either have to work off of very old data sets from before AI existed, modern AI existed, or they have to try to curate high quality information from human sources. The problem is that these human sources they're trying to train things on are themselves becoming corrupted by AI. If you use a simple example, Reddit, for example, a lot of these AI companies are paying Reddit big money for their data, but the problem is there's a lot of AI bots on Reddit making posts. There are also a lot of people who are using AI to get the information that they're using to post on Reddit. So it is either direct AI or AI synthesized information. And these models that are incorporating the data can't actually tell the difference between what is human generated and what is AI generated. So all of this data is being contaminated. And this contamination is irreversible. The only way to ensure that the data is not contaminated is to use older data sets, which provides a limit to model training. And this is not just limited to a low quality website like Reddit. It is also happening on YouTube, where if Google is using YouTube to train its algorithms, it's becoming very hard to tell the difference between AI and human generated content. And even at the research level and legal level, you see lawyers and scientists trying to use AI to supplement. So even research papers and legal papers are not completely free of AI anymore. So the issue becomes, as these models continue to deteriorate, they devalue themselves. There's a certain amount of competency that people expect out of an AI. If you're making dinner and the AI gives you a recipe that is wrong 30% of the time, are you still going to use the AI for recipes? Probably not, because your dinner is going to be ruined 30% of the time. The real issue for the AIs is when the threshold is very high, when they're right 90% of the time, but they're wrong a critical 10% of the time. Because you build enough trust in the AI, but then it betrays your trust by giving you a completely wrong answer to an important solution. So long term, I don't think AI is very tenable to where people use it to make decisions for their daily lives. It violates the very simple nature of human trust. Humans are not so forgiving of mistakes, whereas they forget all the times that something was right. I mean, this is the way it happens in human to human relationships. So I think AI is peaking to some extent. I think it peaked sometime maybe late last year, early this year. At least that's what I'm seeing. I really noticed it from the transition from ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT 5. I've really noticed it in the recent iteration of Gemini Flash. Another problem with the AI models is legal issues. A lot of the training data, which I covered in another video, a lot of this training data is getting locked down. We're not having a free an open feast for these very wealthy companies to build their AIs off of. There's more of a gated community when it comes to information and scraping now. And there are also legal issues where AIs are having to sanitize themselves and become more and more politically correct when it comes to medicine or science or cooking or diet, anything like that, to where the AI becomes so safe because of fear of lawsuits that it just becomes worthless. So I think there are a lot of factors at work that are going to bring people back to encouraging a more human element to things. People are going to find that AI is useful as an augment to life, but it's not really a replacement for people. AGI is a long way off, maybe 50 years off. We're not even close to AGI.